For the past 25 years, Washington has been attempting to formulate a new grand strategy without success. This, aside from Donald Trump's notably tense personal style, reveals that America faces a real and unresolved problem, one that the EU should better understand and respond to with a posture of reconvergence rather than divergence from the United States. In the year 2000, Condoleezza Rice outlined in Foreign Affairs the doctrine of national interest, in contrast to the globalist approach then supported by the Democratic Party. The core idea was that America sought to remain the world's leading power, but by reducing the now unsustainable imperial costs and shifting them onto its allies, encouraging them to invest more in their regional security. The United States would maintain an indirect protective umbrella for their defense, with a commitment to direct engagement only in cases where its vital interests were at risk. This Republican doctrine later found convergence with the Democratic approach developed under the Obama administration, lead from behind, combined with an attempt to make trade exchanges between America and its allies more symmetrical in order to reduce the U.S. deficit. It should be noted that there was a convergence between Democrats and Republicans on the fact that America can no longer sustain either the role of importer without reciprocity or that of the planet's sole policeman. The second Trump administration is implementing this doctrine with greater determination. When I was teaching in the United States in 2002, I was included in informal seminars organized by Vice President Dick Cheney's office on the theme of what configuration. I recommended a stronger structuring of the G7, then G8, to compensate for the declining scale of the United States. But when I presented this concept in Washington in my book The Grand Alliance, 2007, I found agreement behind closed doors, yet a lack of willingness among the U.S. politicians present to communicate it to an exceptionalist electorate unwilling to cede sovereignty to structured or conditioning alliances. Today I see continuity in this situation, an empire unable to bear its costs, yet determined to remain one by making others pay them. Scenario: the verbal attack on Europe is underpinned by the fear that, in the future, the EU might become larger than the US, relegating it to a lateral power rather than a globally central one. This probabilistic vector has long been studied by my Euro-American research group, triggering an ongoing analysis of destiny: who will be the successor to the US empire? The answer, for now, is that it will have to take a multinational form, that is, an alliance, because, excluding a Sino-American G2, there is no longer a single national successor sufficiently large as America was in relation to the British Empire. Not only politics, but also financial actors tend to hold this position. Evidence of this is that U.S. investment funds are increasing their interest in the European area. These brief notes lead to the following recommendation for European governments: do not overreact in the short term to Trump's nervousness, but maintain a collaborative negotiating stance, because in the future it is more likely that America will regain a cooperative strategy with its allies, as it cannot afford to abandon it.